out in Phoenix at JD's. You had a little three-piece band, and you had the greatest feel, just magic. I mean, that's the only way I could describe it. Great, and you were one of the first people to start producing their own records here in Nashville, and you went back to that small band using your own pickers, basically the same ones on your Honky Tonk Heroes album, and created a monster. You know, that was the first big explosion of a album that you just went everywhere all at once. Now, had you been wanting to do that for a long time?
Yeah, you know, I've never been against what Nashville does, you know. I mean, like, the way they produce, it works for some people. It just didn't work that well for me. And I just, you know, I don't know. I knew the people I worked with. I was more comfortable with them, and they knew me. And we created a sound together. And that's where I think things started happening for me, is when I was able to create that sound, you know. I even got away from it again a little after that, you know, and then lately I've been back to it again, and it's, you know, that's not saying anything about the musicians in this town, because you know what, you can't say nothing great about them, you know. And I believe in producers. I'm a great believer in producers, you know, because that's another mind, you know. If you get somebody that understands you, you know, they have to understand and what you do, and let you, you know, you can just take it so far by yourself. You know, I've produced some albums by myself, you know. I mean, as far as that's to say, you know. But I like everybody's opinion in the studio, you know, and I like to work with good producers, you know. But I have to be able to, for me to really come off me, I have to surround myself with people who are into what I'm doing, you know, and know what I'm doing.
Well, you've written a whole lot of great songs, you know, and they're all Waylon songs. Good-hearted woman. That's woman. You said
woman.
it wrong. You call it good-hearted woman.
Woman.
It's woman. And
that's Southern Ohio, right?
That's Southern Ohio. We'll say boosh and poosh. Well, let's go fishing.
Fishing.
And songs like...
Get something deep.
Get something deep.
Yeah.
And I particularly like I Don't Think Hank Done It This Way. Is that the way you felt at the time?
Yeah, where that came from is like... I don't know, but I think I've heard Johnny Darrell say that one time. Or I don't know, maybe I said it to him or somebody said it to somebody and I was around, you know. And I kept saying it because, you know, when everything would go wrong on the road or something, like the bus would break down or something, you'd say, oh, you sure Hank done it this way, you know. Because, you know, when everybody comes to town, even to this day, you know, a new artist comes to town or something, like he wants to, you know, like he hears all these stories, these great stories about Hank Williams and how Hank was and how he did it, you know. And they think that's the only way to do it, which ain't necessarily true. But, you know, I tried to backdate that one time, and I was in Canada. Me and Hank Snow was on tour together. Anyway, we was going along there, and my bus broke down, so we got a hold of Hank behind us. He came along, and he pulled up beside us, and so I got in the bus, and I thought I'd be real clever, you know. And it's hard to be clever with Hank sometimes, you know, you say.
Yeah, he misses a lot of humor.
Sure, I said, Hank, are you sure old Jimmy done it this way? And Hank didn't laugh. The band laughed for just a minute. And then they quit, too.
You and Hank Jr. did probably one of my favorite records, Knocked Me Out. It was a magic record.
We wrote that together, too. I mean, him, Richie.
It's called The Conversation. How did that come about?
I tell you...
It sounded like ad-libbing. It sounded like it really was just a conversation.
Well, actually, that's the way we wrote it. I had it started, you know, and like... Hank had given me a pair of his daddy's boots, you know, and I actually started out talking to the boots, you know. And then when Hank came along, we changed it around, you know, and made it a conversation between me and him. And it really turned out good. I tell you what's weird, though, is we recorded that song like 3 or 4 different times. And the take you hear is actually the first take on the last time. But recorded it a couple of times in American studio, over down there. And the cellophane came off of the tape, and it stretched one time, and it wasn't no good. And one time we just, I think I was in Tuesday and he was in Thursday or something like that, and it didn't come off. And I got to wonder, well, Hank wasn't getting involved in that a little bit,
Hank was up there somewhere saying, no, that's not it.
No, not it yet, boys. Just keep going. We'll get this thing right. And you want to hear my boot stories, though?
I want to hear the boot story.
All right, but this is the truth.
First, I want to know, do the boots fit?
Yeah.
Good.
You knew I tried them on, didn't you? I was wearing them one night, and hey, I have had studios closed down when they find out that they say, is he wearing the boots? We're broke down for repairs, if they say, yeah. One night was an American recording there, and in comes Tom Burke. He said, Chief, better get them boots off. Better get them boots off. And I said, what do you mean? He said, something terrible. And I said, what do you mean something terrible? And he said, better get them boots off. It's bad. And I just bought a new Eldorado. He said, you know I do new Eldorado with yours? And I said, yeah. And he said, there's a tree on it out there. And I said, oh. And when I turned, lightning struck his tree. It was all over my car, man. I mean, that tree was all over it. I went out there, and one of the guys standing there, I said, lift that branch up a little bit. And I got in, and I backed it out, and there wasn't a scratch on it to this day. You can see. You can look at it now. Well, that's number one. And about a month later, these are the last few times I wore them, by the way. I was sitting in the office, and some friends of mine were there and was talking about them boots, and I had them on. I had them up on the desk, and was really leaning back, smoking a cigar. And all of a sudden, all the pictures on one side of the wall came off onto the floor, And I didn't hear anything to make it happen, but I mean, but they did come off, and not one of them broke, So Jessie, she says, you ain't wearing them boots no more. You ain't wearing them boots no more. So I ain't been wearing them here lately. I put them in the museum that got started. They're safe behind glass.
I don't know if I were you. I don't know if I walk into that museum too much. Where is that located? It's down here on
in the where the Wax Museum is.
Right.
It's upstairs.
Right across the street from the Country Music Hall of Fame.
Right.
Upstairs.
That's it. That's exactly where it's at. Yeah, I got a lot of things, good things in there. It's got
what all you got in there?
Well, I got some guns that Hank Jr. gave me, one of his dad's guns. I got, of course, the boots. I got a walking cane that Andrew Jackson made, and gave to a friend of his. And Jesse got it for me for my birthday, right before they put it into a museum, And then I got the gun. This is going to really impress you, Bear. If it don't, you ain't got no soul.
All right, whip it on me.
All right, I got the gun that Alan Ladd used in Shane.
Oh, really?
Yep, and his son gave it to me. And it's the real one. It's even still got some of Alan's dirt on it. You notice I used that first name basis stuff. But I ain't kidding. I'm proud of that.
You need to take that gun and walk up behind Jack Palance sometime and say, don't move, I got you covered.
I wonder if you'd have an old what was his name? I can't remember what Alan Ladd's name was. Oh, Shane, yeah.
Shane.
Yes, it's brain damage, Hoss. I told you I've been out of it for a few years.
The original mud wrestling.
That's it.